Maureen is my assistant. She's been my assistant for about 3 years now, and she handles a lot, right? Sometimes she even hops on the calls and takes meeting notes and things like that. Because she's been with me for about 3 years now, she essentially knows how I operate, what I want done, right? And I don't really have to tell her what to do. What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day today. And today we're going to be talking about how to hire a $5 per hour virtual assistant and scale your business with less time. And as you start to develop and grow your business, you're going to realize that there are a lot of things that you have to worry about. There's a lot of little admin tasks, just a lot of tasks that take up your time, right? And you as the entrepreneur, as the founder, have to be focused on doing the things that are in your zone of genius, but not only in your zone of genius, things that are worth doing, things that are actually going to move the needle in your business, right? There's certain tasks where you absolutely should not be doing. And when I realized this and hired my first virtual assistant, who's been with me for a few years now, my business significantly grew, and I'm going to get into a little bit about how that happened. But one of the things that you should be doing right now is hiring a virtual assistant. That's going to save you so much time and also just a lot of emotional energy doing just simple tasks that absolutely suck that you shouldn't be doing in the first place because it's simply just not worth your time, especially if you're doing $10,000, $15,000 a month. If you still don't have a virtual assistant, I would hire one right after this video because you're probably just going to double your business just because you'll have more bandwidth. So let's dive into it. So what is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant, just on a very high level, is usually someone overseas but has very, very strong skills. Okay, they're not super expensive, but very effective for your business. And a lot of the time, they're probably more proficient in certain areas than you or I would be when it comes to certain tasks, which is going to be better for you because that means things are going to actually get done significantly better and also just on a more timely manner. So your time is extremely valuable as an entrepreneur. You only have X amount of time a week, right? Every ounce of energy, time, anything like that needs to be focused on revenue generating activities. So what are going to be some examples of revenue generating activities? For example, sales calls, right? If you have more time to take on more sales calls or go generate sales calls, it's much better than you doing simple admin tasks like doing follow-ups, for example, right? Or things like that are just very tedious, or organizing certain things in your Google Drive, for example. Very little things that are just going to be super time consuming, but don't necessarily move the needle. So for me, when I was in my business scaling up and things like that, and I didn't have the ability to hire a closer yet or things like that, all my time, all my focus was either around making sure my clients were happy or generating more clients and basically getting as many offers out every single day as much as possible. So if you want to scale efficiently, you need to offload low tier tasks ASAP, right? And it also takes a lot of the emotion of not wanting to do certain tasks. Like no one really likes doing admin. You never really get excited and you're like, oh yeah, like today's the day I'm going to get all my administration done. I'm going to get all my paperwork done. Right? No one likes doing that stuff. And sometimes that stuff is just like emotionally draining because the more you push it off, the more stressed out about it you get and things like that. So if you have someone who just takes care of that stuff, then you don't have to worry about it. Don't even have to think about it. You just know it's going to get done. So Maureen is my assistant. She's been my assistant for about 3 years now, and she handles a lot. So some of the things that she handles are my emails, my calendar management. So like if people are scheduling calls into my calendar, she's generating the Zoom link, making sure that she's coordinating with the person that they get everything. I don't have to worry about that, right? Sometimes she even hops on the calls and takes meeting notes and things like that. So that way it's another thing I don't have to worry about, right? About worrying about whether or not I took all the notes and remembered everything that happened in the meeting. She just does like a write-up of that. Okay. She even books like my golf tee times, if you can believe it or not. So she communicates with me daily and updates me on pretty much everything I need every single day before I even need it. So because she's been with me for about 3 years now, she essentially knows how I operate, what I want done, right? And I don't really have to tell her what to do because now she just kind of knows what needs to be done. And then she'll do things for me before I even have to ask, which is a really great thing. She also does a lot of menial tasks for my team as well, just to ensure the rest of my team is efficient. If I can get a virtual assistant focused on taking off a lot of like the admin work, or, you know, simple things like customer support emails, manual follow-ups in the DMs, payments and accounts receivables, bookkeeping, coordinating with my accountants, like whatever I need, right, to be able to have my team operate in their zone of genius is going to allow them to move the needle more. Maureen basically takes on those tasks. Okay. So I've basically effectively bought back not just time, but mental bandwidth. And when you have more mental bandwidth, you have more creative energy to focus on your business when it comes to building your offers, when it comes to filming content, right? Things like that, where it takes a little bit more creative energy and mental bandwidth to actually go through that. So Maureen came on when I was about $100,000 a month, and we are now doing over $300,000 a month. But my biggest regret was not doing this sooner, because I probably could have got there significantly faster if I was able to bring her on sooner. And I just didn't know. Like I always thought when you hired a virtual assistant, when you hired an assistant, you needed to do it full time and you need to have all these tasks and things like that. My biggest regret was not doing it when I was even at like 5K a month, right? Because even at 5K a month, there's a lot of little tasks that can be easily offloaded. And what I learned throughout this process is that virtual assistants do not need to be full-time right off the bat. You can hire a virtual assistant for an hour to 2 hours a day, even a week, whatever you want, right? And now when I'm consulting with business owners, right, or I'm consulting my agency owners who are transitioning more to leverage consulting, the first thing I do is help them place a virtual assistant. And just by doing that alone, with tweaking their offer, I've been able to help a lot of agency owners get into leverage consulting very, very quickly and double or even triple their business in a matter of a couple weeks. All right. So here's how I actually hired Maureen. Here's my exact SOP. You can do this and take this and basically utilize this to be able to hire a virtual assistant pretty much within the next week or so. All right. So the first step is to identify how many hours you want to buy back. All right. So think about basically the time that you have right now or how busy you are, right? And think about how many hours you actually want to purchase back, because that's how I think about hiring, right? Whenever you're hiring someone and you're paying someone, you're essentially buying back your time. Okay. 2, use Upwork and create a job post with my job template. 3, video filter. 4, meeting filter. Second meeting filter. Then you do a trial run and then you give an official offer. All right. Don't take any shortcuts on this unless you feel like wasting your time and money. The reason why is because there is no lack of virtual assistants out there. There are so many VAs that you can hire. Honestly, the hardest part is hiring a good one. So this is what I've kind of developed that allowed me to find a virtual assistant that has now been with me for over 3 years. So first step, identify how many hours you want to buy back. So how many hours per week are you working on your business? Typically, in my experience, you can usually buy back 50 to 60% in wasted time right now. So let's say you're putting in 15 to 20 hours a week. Well, you're probably wasting 10 to 12 hours a week on menial tasks, okay? So on average, a VA is typically around $5 an hour. So to buy back 10 hours a week, it's only $50. And if that allows you to focus more time on sales calls, prospecting, client retention, you're easily going to 100x your ROI. And you can start a VA part-time even at an hour a day and then move them into the full-time role as you make more money and as your business grows, which is a super important thing to keep in mind, because like I said, my mistake was that I always thought you needed to hire a VA full time. I didn't think you could just bring one on for even an hour a day. So the second thing is to actually use Upwork to create a job post. You're going to get hundreds of applicants. So getting applicants is not going to be an issue. My recommendation is to keep it as simple as possible, lay out exactly what it is that you want, and then also ask for a video. Okay, asking for a video will flush them out. So this was my exact post. I own an online marketing company and basically looking for some help in day-to-day operations. I'm in need of someone who can help me organize my Asana, schedule meetings, answer emails, make sure my inboxes are cleared out, handled some customer support, make sure payments have been collected, sit on meetings with me and take meeting minutes, help with launching marketing campaigns. This will likely be 20 to 30 hours a week to start during December, but looking to bring someone on full-time by Jan 3rd, 2021. Please send me a resume and attach a video of why you think you'd be a good fit. Do not skip out on asking for a video. A video is going to allow you to filter out significantly faster than just going through, a bunch of applications and stuff like that, because instantly, like, half the people just won't even send a video in. All right. Now, the video filter. So the video filter is really good because, like I said, it's going to save you a bunch of time. Right off the bat, you're going to get hundreds of resumes, but probably only 35 to 50% of those will actually attach a video. To me, it also shows like a little bit of problem solving, I guess you could say, because it's not actually that easy for them to attach a video to a resume. They actually need to go figure out a way to upload it, film it, all that good stuff, right? And actually put time into it. So this is going to get rid of tire kickers on its own. And basically when you go through the videos, you want to watch each video. And most of these videos are going to be like 1 to 3 minutes long. But the things to kind of look out for are professionalism, the effort that they put into the video. Is it just like a video that they just riffed, or did they actually put some thought into their responses, right? And then that leads to the quality of their responses and what they're actually saying in the video. Okay. The other thing too, which is just, there's no quantitative data behind this, but listen to your gut instinct, because you'll know relatively based off first impression if they're going to be worth interviewing or not. All right. You just got to trust your intuition on those things. The more people you hire, the more people you talk to. This is just a general hiring practice. As you do this more, you're just going to get an intuition of whether or not it's worth it to spend an extra 30 to 40 minutes having a conversation with them. Okay. Now, out of the videos that you get, you want to choose your top 10 videos and reach out to them to schedule an interview. So this is meeting filter number 1. You want to set 10 meetings. Out of those, 2 are just simply not going to show, and you want to conduct at least 8 meetings. This is a rough estimate. If it's the case that all 10 of them show, fantastic. If less than 8 show, you want to basically, set a couple more meetings until you conduct 8 meetings. All right, because you need to be able to conduct that many in order to filter out a little bit more. So in the meetings, what you're going to do is essentially go through kind of these series of questions. So you want to ask them what makes them think that they're a good fit for your company. Are you currently working for another company? Why do you want to leave? If they do want to leave, tell me about your experience. How do you stay organized? How do you communicate? Are you quick to respond? Things that are important to you. Like for me, my team responds to me within literally 60 seconds of me. If we're in business hours, I expect a response literally within 60 seconds, with the exception if you're either on a call with a client or on a sales call. Okay, those are the only 2 exceptions where I will accept that you're not responding to me quick. Okay, but for a VA, I expect a response literally within a minute. And those are things that are important to me. This might sound a little psychotic, but that's how I operate my business. So figure out what's important to you and filter out for those things. Okay. And then anything else that is important to you from a character standpoint, like for me, I have certain values that I hold in my business that I need them to adhere to, right? Meetings should be about 20 to 30 minutes. You're probably only going to like 2 to 3 of the 8 that you interview. And then of the 2 to 3 that you do like, what you want to do is set up a second meeting with the ones that you like. Okay. And then side note, don't waste your time. If you figure out very quickly, like literally even 5 minutes into the interview, that they're just not a good fit, don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Just end the meeting, right? Very easy to end the meeting if you don't like what you're hearing. So all you got to do is say something along the lines of like, hey, I appreciate you hopping on so far. Based on the couple minutes of conversation that we had, I don't want to waste your time. I also don't want to waste my time. I want to be respectful here, but I just don't believe this is going to be a good fit. So I'm going to end the meeting here. And it's very easy to do so, and it saves you 30 minutes of your time. Okay. Your second meeting should be 100% show rate. So this is where you want to ask clarifying questions based on the answers they have given you in the past interview. So for example, if they told you a story, get them to tell you the story again and make sure it aligns with what they said in the first interview. This is an easy way just to catch people if they're lying or making things sound better than what they were, because that happens a lot when you're hiring people all the time. People will just say things to make themselves look good, which is understandable. But in a business where you're going to be paying someone and you're trying to scale, it's important that you clarify those things and make sure that it all aligns. And that way they're not just sounding super good, and then when it comes to performance, they're actually subpar. So clarify any additional follow-up questions. If they want to move roles, ask them why. If they intend to stay in this role for a long time, et cetera, things like that, right? And then ask them why you should choose them over a different VA. Get them to sell themselves a little bit. And by this point, you're going to know who you want to hire, but the second touch point just reaffirms it. Now, you're going to have a couple people here who are going to be really top notch. And of those people, you want to offer a trial run to the one that you want, or two, right? Totally okay. To take on 2 or even 3 VAs at once, and give them a couple tasks just to trial them out, just to see whoever performs the best. So my recommendation is to typically do a 7-day trial. So this job is theirs to earn. Okay. I want to make this very clear. Like sometimes when we go into hiring mode and things like that, it feels like we're the ones who need to sell them on the role and things like that. But even if that's true, it is still their job to earn. Okay. So this is your money and time that you're investing into someone. So it's important that they show up 100%. This also requires you to be a good leader as well, right? So it goes both ways. So my recommendation is to start them on very simple tasks that take maybe, 1 to 2 hours a day, and then kind of go from there. So some examples of tasks that you can do is like Facebook outreach, Instagram DM outreach, managing admin tasks, or one-off projects. Like for example, Maureen sends gifts to all our clients whenever they sign on with us. So she basically will like go source and find gifts or things like that for our clients, right? Little one-off projects that just kind of test them. And then watch for if they show up on time, their communication, and just their overall performance if they do the task well. And then if they have done it and they've gotten this far, they're likely going to be a great fit. So offer them a position on your team. Now, my recommendation for a VA is to treat them as important as any other role you would hire for. My whole team literally praises Maureen because of how good of a job she does. And we don't treat her any differently just because she's a virtual assistant. She is as important to making this company work as pretty much any role in the business. All right. So train them, give them tools on what they need to succeed, buy them courses if they need help learning, things like that. And it's a win-win situation. They help you grow and you help them grow. And at the end of the day, you're changing someone's life. Like Maureen's life is completely different now because of the role she's been doing at my company, right? And likewise, my company has grown significantly because of her. So the right hire will make you a ton of money. Don't take shortcuts, even though the process may seem tedious. The right hire will literally allow you to 2 to 5x your business instantly, but over time will 50 to 100x your time, energy, and financials. Now, use this same process to hire any other team member. I use pretty much the same process to hire my sales team as well. And even if you don't think you need a VA right now, You probably do. So you should just take action on this ASAP. People charge thousands of dollars to place a VA into your business using this exact same process I taught you. So hopefully this was beneficial for you. Go and hire a VA, change your business, help someone grow in your business as well, and also free up a lot of your time, your mental bandwidth, and your business is going to be significantly more enjoyable. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next one.